Welcome back to Through the Veil podcast with Elle and Camille. I'm Camille, and this is the podcast where we seek to demystify, develop, and celebrate spiritual gifts through a faith-based lens. Today, it's me flying solo. I'm going to be giving a session to Rachel May. So,
hi.
Thanks for being willing to be on here. Elle's done a couple of these on the podcast, and now it's my turn. So I'm excited. So Rachel was telling me before we started recording that she's never had a session before to connect to loved ones on the other side.
Correct.
Okay. And she found our podcast through a friend, actually probably Lindsay Garlock, who's been on the podcast a couple times. So thank you, Lindsay. And so before we get started, I'm just going to explain how the gift works for me. We have different senses, ways we can get information from the other side. Most of the information I get in a reading is typically through thoughts. So we call that clear knowing or clear cognizance. I do get a lot of thoughts. I also get feelings. That's clairsentience. I can pick up on the feelings of the person that I'm talking to. Like sometimes people will ask a question and I just get I can feel how their response to that question. I also get images sometimes too. Now the images, that's called clairvoyance. But it's not always like what you might expect. Like I saw a clear picture of their face. Sometimes it's like I'll see a symbol for something like a book when they want to talk about the learning they're doing on the other side. So sometimes the images are symbolic versus like literally this is what I look like. And then I also sometimes, this one's not as common with me, but clairaudience is clear hearing. Like sometimes I'll hear their laugh. It happened to me yesterday in a session. Somebody had a really good laugh and I was like, oh, I love their laugh, So that happens too. Less likely are clear smelling and clear tasting, but it has happened in sessions before where I'm like, my tongue feels really spicy. Does this person like spicy foods? And it was like a big part of who they were because they really love spicy foods. So that's more rare. At the beginning of a session, I take 30 seconds to a minute to meditate and just clear my head. I said a prayer previous to the session to just get myself in a good spot. Because you can't use your spiritual gifts without the spirit, right?
Yeah.
So before I meditate, I do want to ask you, do you have a specific person you want me to focus on bringing through?
Yes.
Okay. And just so you guys know, I've never met Rachel before. This is our first time having any interaction. So blank slate for both of us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel, who do you want me to connect with today?
I'd like to connect with my late husband, Ryan.
Okay.
He passed away 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
And I have felt him communicate with me before.
I was going to ask you that. I was curious. I'm like, what spiritual gifts do you have?
I don't know, but ever since he passed, I feel like, especially right after he passed, I felt like he was talking to me often. And it's kind of gone away since then.
Yeah.
And I long for that again, right?
Yes. And this happened to me after my son died. I felt like my son was always with me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, where did you go?
Yeah.
And so the way he communicated with me shifted. And I'll just kind of see what Ryan wants to bring up about that. Because often when they pass and they give us that immediate kind of I'm right here, I'm right here. And then it feels like they sort of drift away. It's because there's an invitation for us to train our spiritual muscles in a little bit of a different way so we can stay connected. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that as he brings it up. And I have some opinions on that from my own experience, but I'm going to let Ryan do the speaking as well. Obviously, that's why we're here. So while I do my meditating to connect to him, just do me a favor and say a prayer in your head. If you raise your vibration and I raise mine or get into the spirit, it just makes the process easier. I always tell people we focus on love and gratitude. That helps us get higher. And possibility and faith, just the gratitude that this gift is possible and that our loved ones love us enough that they're going to communicate that we're so connected, So the veil can be really thin and I'm excited. So I'm going to take 30 seconds and then I'll start talking. Oh, and you might see me looking down. I take notes when I do sessions just to help me focus. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing I get when I connect to Ryan is kind of the sense of anything is possible, eyes wide open. Was he kind of like an idea guy, or like, oh, let's do this, I have this idea? Like, he just feels like an idea generator.
Yeah.
Like maybe even like an entrepreneurial brain, or just like that like that brain that's like, oh, what the possibilities are, like thinking outside the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm getting just like an idea, kind of an expanded thinker kind of guy, outside the box. Did he ever have any like plans or ideas where you're like, I never even thought of that? Like, just like, where did he come up with this stuff?
I mean, he was always very creative and, like you said, an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
He didn't like the idea of being tied down to a specific job. He wanted to, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can relate. I'm kind of the same way. I'm like, what's possible? What are the possibilities? You know, that entrepreneur mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like he almost sees the world from a different lens than most people, kind of looking for like seeing things that other people don't see, ways to, yeah, that creative, almost like not bucking the system, but like challenging norms, you know, and able to see things that other people can't. I'm also picking up on just like that boisterous energy, passion for life. He seems like he tried a lot of different things. I don't know if that like has to do with like different foods, travel, but I feel like he was like, why not?
Yes.
Why not? Did he get you out of your comfort zone a little bit with this like kind of life philosophy? It feels like he'd be one that would sort of challenge you in kind of fun and unique ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm more reserved. He was very much the outgoing one.
But you're also very grounded. And I think that you guys, that balance of him like, why not? What if? And you're like, and here's the ground.
Yes.
That's a good balance right there. It's a strong balance. He yeah, you have like that kind of like earthy, grounded feeling. And I feel like he really loved that about you and found like trusted that in you. Like he trusted your instincts, even though he had his own ambitions. It was a good like yin and yang situation. He's talking about education. Feels like that's something that was important to you. That's been important to you throughout your life. Education.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like doing the steps to get to a certain level of expertise, knowledge, insight. That's something that you value.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves that about you. You're kind of like, you have that curious mind like he does. And you're able to like stick with something and stay goal driven and grounded with what you wanted to achieve. So he admires that about you. I feel him. Does he have ADD? Because I'm like, I don't know, my ADD is spinning. I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, we're all over the place. But maybe that's just me. I'm like, oh, you're like, we're going here, and then we're going there, and then we're going here. He's talking about, I just feel this deep love for you and respect for you. For everything that you've gone through, like you've stayed tethered. He's been learning from you since he passed away. He has been watching you and paying attention to how you're navigating. And he just has a lot of love and respect for you. He honors you. He's learned a lot. Like he's in admiration of you. I pick up on kids. I pick up on you. I feel like fundamentally you're a good mom. Like you kind of just have a natural skill set. Like mothering maybe is second nature to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're good at nurturing. You're good at leading. You're interested in like human or child development. Like that's interesting. Like you have a deep knowledge and skill set. So it's like I'm not picking up from him that he's got any worries about you as a mom, but I feel he's telling me that you've questioned yourself. Like, am I doing the right thing? Is this what he would want? Like, like wishing he was there to check in with you about certain things.
Yeah, I've said that a lot.
Yeah, like what would he say? Is this the right thing? Um, I feel like you've had that, like that missing piece, obviously. But he's telling me like you're naturally a really good mom. And so you don't need to question. Your instincts are on point, is what he's saying. Like your natural instincts, they've always been that way.
Mm, that's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have a daughter?
Yes,
Is she one of your older kids?
I just have one.
Okay. Okay. So you have one child or just one daughter?
Just one child, one daughter.
Okay. Because I'm like, I'm picking up on daughter and she feels like she's one of the older. Well, she is the oldest. All right. Daughter. All right. All right. What is he saying about her? He mentioned that you have one. I'm not, it's interesting. It feels like she's old, but she's not old. Does she have like an older soul or something? Like she's one of those, um, like, I don't know if I'm like, I want to say she's 17, but she's not. So I don't think she's actually 17. She just has an old soul is what it feels like.
Yeah, I think she's smart for her age, and she's always had wisdom beyond her years. She's 4.
Okay.
So,
Like, I don't think she's actually literally 17, but I want to place her older because she feels she's got a more wise, older soul.
yeah.
Does she ever talk about your husband? Like, feel connected to him? Because I'm picking up that she's sensitive. She's perceptive,
Yes. Yeah, she is.
like profoundly sometimes. Do you sometimes feel like she's your connection to him? Because you're like, what?
I
Have this ability. Um,
think that both of us have that.
yeah, I agree with you. But it almost feels like shocking how much she has it being so young.
Mhm.
Like it catches you off guard
Yeah.
in a really good way.
She has a solid spiritual understanding for her age.
Yeah, like it's so fundamental to her, it feels like.
Mhm.
Yeah. Does she ever say things to you when you're like, that felt like such profound wisdom? Like she knows things. Like your husband saying, pay attention. Obviously, you already are,
Mhm.
but pay attention because she's speaking truth.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you write down her truth bombs as she,
I do have
as
a journal by her bed, and I always forget to write in it. So,
yeah, he's like, start writing stuff down because what feels important about that is when you write down little things that she says, you're going to see it. Sometimes things have a double meaning. Like they literally mean what they mean. But then if you see it, there's like a different angle you could see it from where it has like, oh, and it also means this. I never thought of it that way. So it feels like as you write it down, you're going to see 1, 2, or possibly 3 ways that makes sense. So if you like
mm,
ponder it and study it, you know what I mean? It'll just like, there's more to it. Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Like when you hold like a diamond, it has like different angles and reflects and stuff. Like it's just multidimensional. It feels like her wisdom has multiple dimensions to it. And so it's like it's a treasure for multiple reasons. Okay. I can feel his boisterousness. He is doing he's happy. He's doing well. He's definitely like very focused too. I feel like he's busy over there and busy over here, like visiting you guys, but I feel like he's busy. And it's like task oriented, goal driven. But there's such a softness. As I say that, sometimes when I give sessions, I say what I feel like they want me to say, and then as I'm saying it, if I'm not quite capturing it, they'll sort of like edit it or add to it so I correctly portray. And he's like, but while I'm enjoying the work over here, you guys are my work. Like you guys are my most important work. Like you guys are my favorite. You guys are my priority. Like you guys are my everything. And everything else I do is because I love you and I love God. And I'm grateful for everything I've received, but like you guys are my priority. And that it's really important that you know that.
Oh, that means a lot.
Yeah. Like obviously he's got a great personality and he's got lots of energy and ideas. So he's very useful over there. The people that never run out of energy, they're very useful over there. but you guys are his foundation, his priority. Yeah. Have you had any experiences with him visiting you at night or sensing his presence around you, specifically in the evening? I'm getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like sometimes you're getting like snippets of conversation or like thoughts that come in? Like it's not maybe as clear as it was when he first passed, but like you're getting little bits that you're kind of trying to put together.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's good. I do feel like for some reason it might be easier to reach you in the evening as you're winding down. It's one of his favorite times to visit you. Yeah. And then I'm
That's
picking
when
up on, oh, go ahead.
no, I meditate and write in my journal in the evening after I put my daughter to bed. So that makes
That's,
sense.
you're creating that space. Yeah. Setting that intention. That's beautiful. Something with your daughter and music is coming up. She loves music. She sings. Like I'm just picking up on music and your daughter.
She's very musical.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see how that talent grows in the future. She's so little right now, but she has perfect pitch.
Really? Wow. Yeah. I feel like she's going to be able to combine like her own spiritual gifts and her sensitivity with music to impact people in a really profound way.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel that. And it just makes your husband like light up into a smile. He loves her musicality. He loves the joy that it brings her. Yeah. Yeah. I do pick up on you and your daughter knew each other before you were born. And like you kind of knew like we're going to be doing life together in an unusual way because your husband this was part of his plan, you know? And you and your daughter kind of already had that awareness and that contract of this is what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be doing life together. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. You guys are kind of like strengths for each other. Okay. What questions do you have for Ryan?
I've thought about this and I have a million questions for Ryan. So
yeah. Don't hold back.
This part makes me emotional, but when Ryan passed, he was very, very sick and he couldn't speak for the last year of his life. And so there was a lot that I didn't know about what was going on with his spiritual and emotional state. And I think a big part of me feels this like unsettled feeling of not knowing what was going on in his mind before he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't able to communicate. And there was a moment about a week before he passed, he sent me a text message that he loved me. And I felt like he knew he was going to pass. Mm-hmm. I guess I want to know more about that. And if he had accepted it at that point, then
I do feel an acceptance and a kind of a surrender when he sent that text. Are you aware of like a female relative of his that would have been really close to him who passed away? Who would have been like really close to him as he's going through this transition?
My mom, actually.
Oh, your mom. Okay. I'm feeling female. I'm feeling relative. And she's very closely monitoring and like just being with him as he's going through this transition and pre-transition, really. Okay.
The day he died, I asked him if there was someone there, and he said my mom and his grandfather were there.
Wow. Wow. Okay, that's amazing. I want to see what else he wants to say about that. I just got the sense of your mom being there, and she's so nurturing and so capable. And just, did your mom do well under pressure in difficult circumstances? I feel like she kind of has a gift. Was she like a triage nurse or something? I don't know. She just feels like someone who can take on a lot like that.
I don't know. My mom passed when I was 5. Okay. So I didn't really get to know her in this life.
Wow. So you've had a lot of loss. Your mom feels amazing. She feels like she's so capable of handling really high stress, difficult, sensitive situations. Like it's almost a comfort zone for her.
Wow.
Yeah. Like she could have been a triage nurse or something. Like she just feels very capable. So I get a sense of her with him see what else he wants to say about that. Just her presence was so comforting. So I guess he had never met her in this life, but he knew who she was. I do pick up on them being able to communicate, spirit to spirit, and it being really comforting to him. And it's also what's like inside of him. He's like, I wish I could tell Rachel. I wish I could talk to her about all of this. Like, it was so incredible. And it could have filled up pages of journals, but he just didn't have the ability to share with you. But it was a beautiful experience to feel cared for by her. Like so much, like almost constantly, especially towards the end. Yeah. It's such a gift. You asked though, like, what was his spiritual kind of emotional experience like the last year? I want to go there a little bit more. You know, it's interesting. He's saying that everything went kind of quiet. Like when you're not able to speak and have back and forth conversations, I guess, besides via text, it's like there's a lot of time and space to think. It feels like things quieted down for him. Mm-hmm. And that created a space where he was able to reflect deeply. He's almost grateful for it, honestly. Wow. Have you ever done a silent retreat where you go somewhere and you don't talk for like 8 hours? It's actually pretty amazing.
I haven't.
So he's saying that it created this space where he could reflect and really absorb a lot of things from his life and just like spiritual things. It feels like there's a reverence around it, actually. Like he had a silent retreat.
Wow.
There's a gratitude for it. Yeah. It was a really grounding experience where it's like I feel like he was able to surrender and experience some of the good things from that and not fighting it too much. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, I feel like there's something else he wants to talk about. What you are focusing on at this stage of your life. Are you doing some type of work have a community where you're part of like a widows group or you're like supporting others? It feels important.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing a lot of things, but
yeah.
My other questions that came to mind that I wanted to ask him about specifically are what I'm doing right now. I'm pursuing a career in financial planning, hoping to help widows with financial planning.
I was like, it feels like there's something that has to do with widows and your education. Very cool. Okay.
Maybe it's that. And kind of this question goes along with that, with what you've said before. I feel very strongly that I'm not done having children, which is confusing.
Say that again. You cut out for a sec.
I said I feel very strongly that I'm not done having children.
Okay.
And when Ryan first passed, I felt like he was telling me he was going to help me find another partner.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that felt like he wanted to do that for me and that he wanted to help find someone for my daughter to be a good father here on earth for her. Mm-hmm. I felt that really strongly for a while, and then it kind of went away, and I haven't really felt his help or support or excitement about that since.
Yeah. So you're curious about that. You know, it is interesting though, because when I was connecting to what he was telling me about your daughter, and I felt like she was one of your older kids, it went along with feeling like other kids were part of the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought you might have a son. So that's why I was like, oh, she's the only one. Okay. So it does go ahead.
I'm sorry. I had an experience a few years ago where I felt like a son was speaking to me. So I know I do. I just don't know how he's going to get here.
Yes. Yeah, I feel that as well. I feel like when you said that, I felt it resonated. it just feels like something that's going to happen when you least expect it. And that's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Because Ryan likes surprises and he likes to, pull things out of the air and like, wow, I never thought of that. But no, I feel like there's going to be someone when you're not really looking for it, but it just, catches you off guard. So I do feel that. Yeah. Other kids as well. I feel that. So, yes. Yes.
I felt that before, and I wonder, does that mean I shouldn't be looking for it if it's going to happen when I'm not looking?
It kind of feels like it's going to happen either way. So you don't have to be like anxiously wondering what you need to do next. It feels like it's just going to sort of show up when the time's right and catch you off guard. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, feels like it's more of a timing issue right now. Not because you're not like looking or being proactive about it. It feels like it's just a timing thing.
I can trust that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think you're going to be expected to have kids when you're like 45. So I don't feel like this is going to be like you're waiting years and years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that.
That's my concern all the time. I feel like I'm getting old.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
You're 30? Oh man, I wish I was 30. I'm 43. Okay, no, I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be
I know
okay.
I'm young. It's just when I don't have any prospects, right? It's like, I don't know when this is going to happen for me. So
Yeah, it feels like, I mean, I'm not like obviously getting exact timelines here, but I do feel like in the next 2 to 3 years, you're going to have found that, be in that phase of life. So
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like your focus what Ryan is saying is that you're focusing on the right things right now. Like this education, like, are you taking the certifications to do the financial planning? Or you're in the middle of that right now?
Yeah, I'm taking the exam in March.
So good at educating yourself. Like, and it requires a certain kind of person to be able to do the financial planning because these are like really demanding exams. And it requires somebody who's grounded and disciplined. So he admires you for having that, like, I mean, it just takes a lot of focus, That's not something you can just kind of cram for like last minute. Like you have to be really on top of it. So he's so proud of you. And I feel like it feels like you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Focusing on your daughter, focusing on your education, focusing on your career. And it's going to unfold when you have those things in place. And you're in a good kind of hum in your life where it feels like you're in a, like you're kind of in a rhythm with your career and you're not like it. So the timing is going to sync up nicely. They'll give you time to do that.
I like to hear that.
Okay. What other questions do you have?
Well, you kind of mentioned, my other question was about parenting. It's hard to be parenting alone and wishing I knew what he wanted me to be doing. But it's good to hear that he feels good about it, I guess.
Yeah, he really trusts you. He's saying your instincts are really good.
One thing that just popped into my mind that I hadn't been thinking about was his mother. I feel like she really wants to connect with him, and she feels really hurt that she can't feel him. She hears other people saying they feel him, and I almost feel guilty that I feel him so often and she doesn't.
Yeah.
Is there anything he wants to say about his mom?
Yeah, let's see what he wants to say. Okay, so he's bringing to mind something that I teach people. So oftentimes I think we equate feeling someone with like we rank. Like if we're going to have an interaction with somebody from the other side, we'd rather feel them because it's like that emotional experience of our hearts kind of like feeling more whole for a second. But he's saying that there's other ways he's going to communicate besides just the feeling. And with his mom, it feels like it's going to be more of a thought than a feeling, at least initially. So ways to look out for that is like, if she's just driving or like doing something automatic, like driving, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, in the shower, where you're not really having to think very hard, you're just in the moment, sort of zoned out a little bit. When he randomly pops into her head out of nowhere, she's not thinking about him at all, and he just sort of like shows up. That's another way that spirits can say hi and that they're near, that they're checking in on us. It's a hi. And so we're looking for this, but they're going to come in this way. And to not like, because it's not maybe what we want, how we want them to communicate, that doesn't mean it's not real and it's not valid.
Yeah.
So she may only be looking for this and missing all of these. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So what he wants her to do, a little homework, is take note of the times he just randomly pops into her head. Like she starts thinking him out of nowhere, or something like, oh, he would say this, or this reminds me of him, like something like that, where it's just like very random. And so to take notes of those experiences, like write them down, like I was driving today and I was thinking about XYZ, and then Ryan popped into my head and I had this thought, because then she can kind of look for patterns and see if there's a message inside of that for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like you with your daughter, like when she says something, or you have your own like clear knowing or moment of like, whoa, something just, I feel like I got some information. Write it down so you can look for those patterns and you can see it from different angles, because there's often more meaning than what we just originally like see.
That makes sense.
But I do feel like as she learns how to do that, it will move down to her heart, where she'll have this like after my son died, this happened to me, where I was feeling him a lot, and then all of a sudden I wasn't feeling him. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've lost my son. Like, where did he go? And that was so depressing. And I didn't want to get out of bed. And then I read the website of the lady who did a portrait of my son, like the picture of like Jesus and my son. She's really like an intuitive artist. She feels the spirits of the people as she's drawing them, and they instruct her how to draw them accurately. Similar to the woman we had on the podcast a few episodes ago. So on this, the artist that we use, her name's Jean. On her website, she has something about a spirit instructing her how to draw him accurately, and saying something like, tell my mom that when I randomly show up in her head, that's me saying hi, and she can talk to me. So when we acknowledge like, oh my gosh, Ryan, is it really you? Sometimes we'll get a little hit down here. We're like, yes, like so it's not just cognitive. It can also be like that feeling, but sometimes it starts here.
Yeah.
Also, another thing to look out for with your mother-in-law is sometimes out of nowhere, she might get really emotional and just start crying about him out of nowhere. Same, like she's driving and not thinking about him, and it just, ugh. That's actually a sign that he's visiting her, and she just, her nervous system is just so overloaded with the pain of missing him that it like just makes her abruptly, erupt into tears. So that's another sign that they're visiting us, is when all of a sudden we just break down and we're like, ah, I miss you so much. Because when they visit us, when we feel it, it's so overwhelming, because we're like, this is what I miss. Like, I'm starving for this, and it makes us just completely melt into tears. So that's another indication he's visiting her. So the thoughts are going to be more subtle, because he doesn't want to make her just break down into tears all the time. So sometimes it's going to be little pop-ins here. But sometimes it's going to be like, I just broke down out of nowhere. That's because he's visiting her, and it's so much for her to take.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are two indicators as well. Yeah. And I think that they have to be a little bit tactical. Like, okay, mom has this thing coming up later today. I don't want to completely like undo her, so I'm not going to give her that today. I'm just going to pop in here. Like, it's going to be more of like a funny thing. Like, oh, how, like Ryan, that makes me Ryan, that makes me laugh. Because he doesn't want to just like undo her every time he wants to say hi. Right.
Right.
And same with you. Right.
Yeah. I've had those moments where I just start crying out of nowhere. Like, oh, I think Ryan's here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And he just wants, that's like his time to be like, I love you, I love you, I love you. And you're just like, ah, and it just comes out, because what else is, I mean, of course it's going to. Of course it's going to, because you're reminded, this is what I'm missing. This is what I don't have. This is what I want. This is why I'm hurting for this. it's like a beautiful pain because we want to feel them, but it's also like, it just brings everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Do you do any like regular exercising or running?
I don't run, but I do exercise.
I get a sense of you like in regularly exercising or working out, and that being really good for you.
Mm, it
Yeah.
has been good for me.
Yeah.
I was his caregiver for years and wasn't able to take care of myself. And so I think I sense that he's very happy that I'm able to take care of myself now.
Yes. Like it feels like you're really pretty regular. Like you're pretty dedicated with this. So it's
Yeah.
important. Yeah. Okay. You know, it's interesting because I was sort of leaning into what he's saying about you having other kids in the future. And I was just wondering myself, you know, are you going to like have any stepkids or like, because I was thinking about the son. I'm like, is it possible he was going to be maybe a stepson? But like, I feel baby boy. Maybe there is a stepson. I don't know. But I'm definitely feeling baby boy, like your baby. So,
Oh, well, that makes me happy. I've also felt that too. Like, I just feel this, like, I don't know, just something inside me keeps saying, you're going to have more children,
hmm
but I just don't really see how that's going to happen right now. So,
yeah. Well, maybe not today, but
yeah.
the next couple of years, it looks like you will be having the opportunity for sure. So, I keep getting this like, I don't know, this image of you being like that sports mom. So I don't know if your daughter does sports, but like I just see you like being that soccer mom at some point or the baseball mom. I don't know which sport it is specifically, but like that feels like it's going to be part of your family culture moving, you know, later on.
That's fun. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. And I can't like guarantee this, but I'm kind of getting a sense that whoever you marry in the future, there's like some like athletics are important to him too. Like that feels like part of his, yeah.
Mm.
So I just see you guys like being the sports parents. The gear in the back of the car and like going to the game and like sitting down the lawn chairs, you know, all of that.
Yeah, that sounds happy.
Yeah, no, it is. And I do, and maybe and this don't, you know, use your own intuition to, you know, decipher, but I do feel like, yeah, the guy like might be pretty athletic or and like just that's, he likes taking care of himself too. Fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting sporty vibes for your future.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting
Thank
me
you.
connect. And, you know, if you ever want to do a future session to connect more with your mom, I wanted to go there, but I was also like, I feel like we need to focus on Ryan because there's more we need to talk about, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. You've been through a lot. You're strong.
Thank you. I have experienced a lot of loss, which I think has refined my spiritual gifts too. Taught me
100%.
to know that they're there and want to communicate with us.
Yeah. Well, I feel I use the word positive entitlement because I feel like you are entitled to certain things. We are all entitled to certain things as children of Heavenly Father and children of God, children of Heavenly Mother. I believe in a Heavenly Mother. I believe that we are entitled as we have come here into this earth school to access the other side, access, you know, the divine through spiritual gifts. It's and whether or not that we feel like we're super gifted naturally, we can still develop these gifts. Like we have this positive entitlement. It's our divine nature. So yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
All right. I know you have to head out, but thank you so much.
That was very cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.